Hello everyone. Today, I have a story to share. It's something people in this city rarely talk about. And if they do, it's only in whispers. The abandoned market in the heart of the city. Have you ever heard of it? Or perhaps, you've walked past it without even realizing. A market that was once bustling, filled with the sounds of haggling, the aroma of grilled sticky rice wafting through the air, children running around, laughing. But now, it's silent. Eerily silent. As if something has swallowed everything, leaving nothing but emptiness. My name is Pear. I'm someone who loves digging into strange stories, listening to tales from the elders, and sometimes I go out to investigate them myself. This story began one day, a day when it was pouring rain. I took shelter in a second-hand bookstore near my house, and there, I found an old notebook. Its cover was tattered, the pages yellowed and brittle, as if it had been forgotten for years. I picked it up, flipped through it, and found a shaky handwritten note, * the abandoned market. Don't go in. Unless you want to face something you'll never forget. I smiled to myself, thinking it was just a spooky tale for kids. But for some reason, the more I read, the colder I felt. A chill from within. In that notebook, the writer described the history of this market. It used to be the heart of the city. People from all walks of life gathered here, vegetable vendors, fish sellers, kids hawking garlands. But one day, everything changed. The writer noted, it started on a rainy night. A scream echoed from the market's central courtyard. And after that, people began to disappear, one by one. I read until the end, and suddenly felt something grip my shoulder. I turned around, but no one was there. Just a cold breeze passing by. Or was it really a breeze? I decided to dig deeper. I asked locals about the market, but they all gave me strange looks. Some shook their heads, others said, "Don't meddle in things that aren't your business." The more they refused to talk, the more curious I became. Eventually, I met Auntie Sai, an elderly woman who used to sell goods at the market. She told me, that market is cursed. Something lingers there, and it won't leave. I pressed her for more details, but she waved me off and walked away, leaving me with one warning, * if you hear crying, don't turn around. *. Her words stuck with me. That night, I couldn't sleep. The sound of rain hitting the roof went tap, 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 but in my mind, I heard something else. A faint sobbing, soft but unmistakable. I told myself, Pear, you're overthinking. But deep down, I knew it wasn't just my imagination. The next day, I decided to see it for myself. The sky was overcast, with light rain falling. I put on a raincoat, grabbed a flashlight, and followed the directions Auntie Sai had given me. The alley leading to the market was narrow, flanked by old buildings. A damp, musty smell filled the air. The sound of rain hitting the ground was strange, tap, tap, like footsteps following me. I stopped and turned around, but there was nothing. Just the long shadows of the buildings. Or maybe they weren't shadows? When I reached the market, I froze. It was terrifying. Rows of dilapidated buildings stood in silence, their roofs caving in, shop signs faded and unreadable. A rusty iron fence guarded the entrance, and in the center stood a massive tree, so tall it seemed to loom over everything. Its leaves were dry and lifeless, as if it had been dead for years. I stood there, staring, feeling like a pair of eyes was watching me from the darkness. Have you ever felt that? Your heart pounding, goosebumps rising, but you don't know what you're afraid of. I took a deep breath and climbed over the fence. My flashlight trembled slightly in my hand. With every step, the cracked concrete crunched underfoot. Crack, crack. The wind whispered through, sounding like a voice. Pair, leave, now. I flinched and looked around, but no one was there. Or was there? I kept walking, passing ruined shops. The first one I saw was a small grocery store. Bottles of fish sauce and soda still sat on the shelves, covered in dust and cobwebs. In the corner, I spotted a black and white photograph. It was a woman, smiling, but her eyes, they were empty, lifeless. My hand shook as I picked it up. And then, my flashlight flickered, flicker, flicker, and went out. I panicked, fumbling for the lighter in my bag. My hands were trembling so much I could barely light it. When the flame finally caught, the photograph was gone. It had vanished. My heart was racing, threatening to burst out of my chest. And then, I heard it. A woman sobbing, hic, hic. It came from deeper inside the market, clear as day, as if she was calling me, or wanting something from me. I stood frozen, torn between fear and curiosity. Curiosity won. I followed the sound, passing more wrecked shops. A foul smell hit my nose, rotting garbage? Blood? Or something worse? I tried not to think about it and kept going until I reached the wide courtyard in the market center. And there, I saw her. A woman in a white dress, her long hair covering her face. She stood under the giant tree, clutching something in her hands. I strained to see in the dim light. It was a heart, a beating heart. Thump, thump, I screamed, my legs nearly giving out. She looked up and smiled, the same smile from the photograph. Her eyes were empty, her mouth unnaturally wide. I ran. I ran for my life, not caring what was ahead. The sound of that beating heart echoed in my ears, and her sobbing followed me. Asterisk kick. Pair, don't go. Asterisk. I made it to the fence, scrambling over it clumsily, losing a shoe in the process. I didn't care. I kept running until I reached the main road, gasping for breath. When I looked back, the market was still there, silent, as if nothing had happened. But I knew it wasn't just my imagination. After that day, I tried to find answers. I went back to Auntie Sai, and this time, she seemed willing to talk. She told me that 30 years ago, a woman named Nguyen sold vegetables in the market. She was beautiful and kind, loved by everyone. But she had a lover, a man no one liked. He was jealous. One day, he saw Nguyen talking to a male customer and misunderstood. That night, he dragged her to the market's courtyard and killed her with a butcher's knife. He buried her body under the giant tree and fled. But after that, the market changed. Auntie Sai said that the first night after Nguyen's death, people heard crying, "Hick, why?" coming from under the tree. Then, people started disappearing. The fish vendor vanished first, followed by the garland-selling kids, then the fruit seller. For every person who disappeared, muddy footprints were found leading away from the courtyard, but none leading back. Auntie Sai said, "Nguyen is still there. She's angry, and she's waiting." I asked, "Why is Nguyen waiting?" Auntie Sai shook her head. "No one knows. Some say she's waiting for her lover. Others say she's waiting for someone to help her. But one thing's certain, those who go and don't come back the same." I sat there, thinking about what I'd seen, the woman in white, the beating heart, that smile. Was it really Nguyen? But the story doesn't end there. A few days later, I ran into Tum, an old friend from school. Tum was a photographer who loved shooting abandoned places. I told him about the market, and his eyes lit up. "For real? I gotta go take pictures." I warned him it was dangerous, but he laughed it off. "What, you scared of ghosts? I don't believe in that stuff." And so, he went. That day, I couldn't shake a bad feeling. That night, Tum called me, his voice shaking. "Pear, help me. I'm at the market. Something's weird." I asked what happened. He said, "I took a picture of the big tree, and in the photo, there's a woman standing there, but when I took the shot, I didn't see her." Chills ran down my spine. I told him to get out, but he didn't finish his sentence. The call cut off. The last thing I heard was, "Hick, don't." I tried calling back, but there was no signal. I called the police, reporting someone missing at the abandoned market. They arrived the next morning and found Tum's camera under the giant tree, but Tum was gone. I went with the police to check the camera. In the last photo, there was Nguyen, smiling, holding a heart. And next to her, a shadowy figure that looked like Tum, his face pale as death. After that, I started having nightmares. Every night, I saw Nguyen standing at the foot of my bed, staring at me, whispering, "Pear, help me." I'd wake up drenched in sweat, my heart pounding. And every time I heard crying outside my window. Why? I was terrified, but I couldn't stop wondering. What did she want from me? Why me? I decided to find answers one last time. I went to Uncle Red, an old taxi driver who used to pass the market every day. He told me, Juan isn't just angry at her lover. She's angry at everyone who knew what happened but didn't help her. He said that on the night she died, people saw the fish vendor, the garland kids, but no one stepped in. They were scared. And Juan cursed them all. She'll drag everyone who knows her story down with her, until someone dares to tell the truth. Hearing Uncle Red's words, I felt a weight in my chest. Did Juan want my help? Or was she just seeking revenge? I went back to the market one last time, this time with Brother Joe, a shaman I met at a nearby temple. He said, to end this, we need to ask for Juan's forgiveness and tell the truth to everyone. I was scared but agreed to go. We arrived at the market at night. Brother Joe lit incense, set up offerings, and began chanting. I stood beside him, my hands trembling. The wind picked up, and the crying grew louder. Why? Brother Joe shouted, Juan, come out. We're here to help you. And then, she appeared. The real Juan. Her face pale, her eyes empty, clutching a heart. She looked at me and said, Pear, tell them how I died. Tears streamed down my face. I felt so sorry for her. I shouted, everyone. Juan was murdered. Her lover killed her. And everyone abandoned her. I'm sorry. I'm sorry on behalf of everyone. My voice shook. The wind roared, and Juan smiled, but this time, it wasn't terrifying. She slowly faded away, the heart in her hand stopped beating, and everything went silent. After that, I stopped dreaming of Juan. The crying stopped. But he never came back. Maybe Juan took him with her. Or maybe, he chose to stay with her. I don't know. To this day, the abandoned market still stands, silent, waiting. If you're brave enough, go see it for yourself. But be careful. If you hear crying, don't turn around. Because she might smile at you, and that time, you might not come back.